Show of hands, how many of us in here hate making mistakes? You'd love to kick your own ass too as a habitual perfectionist? One wrong move, one bad decision, and there goes the rest of your day, spent playing what you could have done over and over in your head, like a personalized horror movie directed by your regrets. That feeling of inadequacy? It's normal. We are comrades in arms. For you, for me, and especially for Madeline. Madeline is the protagonist for Celeste, a 2D platformer developed by Maddie Makes Games, and is a beautiful demonstration of perseverance fit within an average casual playtime of 10 to 12 hours. The game begins with Madeline seeking to climb to the top of Mount Celeste. Not for money, not for a reward, or for fame, but rather for a personal challenge. As backed by an interesting line delivered by this old lady who lives on Mount Celeste, this mountain will show you who you really are. Mount Celeste symbolizes Madeline's self-doubts as she believes climbing to the top of the mountain will help her overcome her anxiety and depression. During the climb, she starts to notice this mountain harbors mysterious powers, but this mountain is not the only magical aspect of Celeste. This game is magical as well, with using the story, gameplay, and game design to connect the players to Madeline's personal struggles and goals in order to show the complexities in accomplishing a goal when you yourself are your biggest obstacle. Hence, via the dialogue here and there about climbers dying on the path to Mount Celeste's summit, the game prepares you to accept that death will be inevitable. And don't worry about keeping track of that though, because the game definitely has you covered on that end. As I hopped, dashed, and gorilla gripped through 8 chapters of relentless conditions and obstacles, there were times where even I got frustrated as Madeline progressed through the game. Yet after every chapter I completed, a rush of peace washed over me before gearing up to throw myself back into the ring again. And that's when my approach to the game began to shift. I felt myself in the shoes of Madeline, trying to keep a clear head as the difficulty progressed the further I climbed the mountain, and grew frustrated by the minute after falling over and over and over into the depths of hell from a mistimed jump, questioning what could I have done differently? What should I have done to ensure the buttons I'm pressing safely guides me to one area to the next before throwing myself back into the fray? Whether it was progressing towards the next chapter, collecting strawberries, or collecting the B-side cassettes that unlock more levels, this game hammers that patience is vital. Most importantly, giving yourself patience is the key to minimizing your frustrations. To the point I started noticing the more patience and grace I extended to myself, the more confident I felt and the less deaths it took to complete an area. Though it's not without a fight. If you thought death-inducing jumps was the only thing this oddity of a mountain was putting up as a fight, think again, because its magic powers conjures one more antagonist to throw in your way. That antagonist is you. Well, not you, but Madeline you. There's a purple-haired, red-eyes counterpart of Madeline who typically manifests through any reflective surface, occasionally confronting her. Dubbed Badeline by the community, this entity is a blunt, nasty, vile, supernatural version of Madeline with powers. This pessimistic counterpart rears her ugly head around times Madeline starts to feel overwhelmed due to her anxiety. As the antagonist of the game, part of me serves as a personification of the anxiety, self-doubt, insecurities, and depression Madeline struggles with. She usually resides inside of a mirror, an interesting reminder that battling with our inner selves is something we all can relate to, and usually projected when looking in a mirror of some kind, whether it's your bathroom mirror, a standing mirror, or your camera phone trying to find your best selfie angles. She really drives home the message that the part of us we don't want to see, that part we wish to change, takes on a life from our insecurities and births the worst version of us. And it also fortifies that what we don't like about ourselves is always one look in the mirror away. You only confront part of me twice in this game. The first confrontation requires you to run away from part of me, and it truly made me feel like I was losing my mind trying to get away from her at times. She easily outruns and outmaneuvers Madeline. Hell, in every area somehow she was Kage Bunshin no Jitsuing. With death after death after death racking up, Her overwhelming powers frustrated me, left me wondering what the hell did I get myself into playing this game. However, with each death, I learned something new, figuring out how to outmaneuver her, reaching closer and closer until finally I saw success. Yet unease tickled the back of my neck at knowing she was going to appear again, and she does. This time, it's different. The second and final confrontation has Battleline on the run from Madeline, with the context around this chase being Madeline refusing to give up her quest to climb to the top of the mountain, despite Badeline's interference. The reason for Badeline's fleeing is because Madeline was becoming aware that in order to conquer the mountain, she was going to need to conquer her own anxiety and depression. She needed to defeat the worst part of herself. But with personifying anxiety and humanizing anxiety means Badeline fears her defeat coming at the cost of her existence ceasing. However, the final confrontation isn't to exterminate Badeline. Rather, it's for Madeline to accept that her anxiety is a part of her. It is her, and that part will never go away. But instead of letting it rule over her or overpowering her to the point that it's a crutch, she instead embraces her anxiety. It's through this acceptance of her anxiety that acts as her containing it, and with containing her anxiety, with controlling it, her confidence can now flourish, with the benefits being a double jump unlock that makes restarting her climb to the top of the mountain easier to undertake. By the time I got to the final stretch of the peak of the mountain, all the determination Madeline gained was also surging through me. Celeste is the first game in a very long time that made me not just empathize or relate to the main character's emotional and physical journey in accomplishing a goal, but actually made me feel the weight and feel the personal impact of their journey. Completing this game gave me much catharsis. It felt great playing a game that reminded me, yes, challenges are an inevitable part of life that you're just gonna have to deal with, but you're never really alone facing them. Somebody somewhere is either going through the same challenge as you or have it just a bit worse than you. Regardless though, there is comfort in a shared pain, and sometimes helping someone overcome their challenges, their obstacles, gives you the assurance and drive you need to face and overcome yours. And the results, a triumph that tastes sweeter than a freshly baked strawberry pie. Thanks for watching.